Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeffrey and today I'm going to be showing you my content creation system that I have set up in Notion. Now this is at least version 3 of a workflow system that I have built since I started creating content about a year ago. Previously I did it in Roam Research. However, at the end of the video I'll cover kind of why I switched, what were the features of Notion that made me make the leap from Roam to here. But when I set up this system this time, one of the things that I really needed it to be is simple. I have a pretty full plate. I mean, I work a full-time job. I have a 5-year-old daughter who keeps me pretty busy. You know, spending time with my wife, and the last month or so I've started taking on the project of learning how to code in Python, and then this content creation is just one of the things that I have going on. So anything that was going to be complicated or require a lot of effort to maintain was not going to work for me. So I created this simple system in Notion, which I will go through all the different types of content that I use it to create and kind of how. And then, like I said, at the end, I will talk about why I switched from Roam to Notion. So let's dive in and take a look. So there are 4 types of content that I've created regularly. We have YouTube videos like the one you're watching. We have tweets. We have my weekly newsletter, the Weekly Pearl. If you haven't checked it out, this is more geared towards just random thoughts and musings that I have during the week. So I write about something that I've been pondering, enjoying, actioning, a quote that's been resonating with me, and what I've been learning about. So if you haven't signed up, you can sign up at jeffreyweber.com. Put the link down in the description below. So I have a newsletter, and I also have some atomic essays. Back in January, I did the Ship 30 for 30 challenge, and this is what I use to help me produce 31 in total atomic essays that I published on Twitter. So let's look at each of these individually. So for YouTube videos, I really have kind of 3 buckets that they fall in during the process. We have the concept phase, which is really just the idea stage. So if I have an idea, I'll just put it here. And then we have craft, which is where I'm actively putting in brainstorming notes or outlining, kind of gathering the pieces for the video, and then creating are things that are ready for me to start getting ready to film and publish. And then once they're done, I just mark them as complete, and anything that I want to archive that I'm not going to progress would just go into an archive. And I have it set up very easily in this Kanban board. One of the things that I like about Notion is being able to set up these different views that I can switch between very easily. So I have my video board. I have a list of the ones that have been completed along with the dates that they were done. So if I needed to get some information from a previous video, I can very easily find that. Now, also with Notion, I have a template set up. So when I'm putting in an idea, I can just easily click on the YouTube template that I have created, and I have different sections created for where I'm going to write my brainstorming notes, my outline when it comes time, pre-populated video description so I can fill this in, copy and paste it when I go to publish it on YouTube, as well as keywords that I think are applicable for the video. I can just start writing them here as I'm creating the video. And then I just have my video content creation checklist. Just, again, very simple. Title, brainstorm some ideas, highlight which ones I think are the best. Same thing for thumbnails, as well as capturing what my tweet post is going to be about when I release the video. A very simple template, and I find starting off with simple is much better than trying to make something complex at the beginning. I mean, with my video creation, and really with a lot of my content creation, it's just me, so I don't need these complicated workflows or getting other people involved. I just need something where I can go capture my ideas so that they're there ready for me when I have time to be able to progress them. If my system for YouTube videos was simple, then my tweeting craft bench is even simpler. It's just a simple table where when I have an idea for a tweet, I can just come in and add a new line. And then once a week, what I'll do is I'll go through and I will kind of polish these off and pick out the ones that I actually want to schedule for tweeting. And then I'll just tweet once a week, scheduling them all for that week, one a day. Nothing crazy. And then once I have the date that I'm going to publish it, I will just come in here and I will mark that date, which will remove it from this table. So anything that I've tweeted is automatically removed because I have a filter set up so that if the date is not empty, it won't show up, as well as anything that I've written as an idea that has stuck around for more than a month probably isn't going to be something that I am actually going to tweet about. It wasn't that good of an idea. And so it'll just kind of fall off the list here automatically. So what I write here is just ideas. Some might be good, some might be not so good, but it's just about getting them here, captured, and it just automatically falls off the list if I'm not going to do anything with it. And then I just have it sorted by when I wrote it, so the newest ones that I wrote are at the top. So again, very simple for managing the tweets that I'm going to send out. The next section that I have is for my newsletters, which I talked a little bit about all the different categories that I have. And again, when I am having an idea or I'm reflecting on the day, I can just come in here and see if there was anything from that day that might fit into one of these buckets, and then I can just create a new entry for that item. So I would just write a title, and then I can just write what it is that I had thought about that item there. So here for Life Happens, I write a little bit about how having a child, you just don't know what's going to come next, and waking up Monday morning, or you think you're going to wake up Monday morning with a certain idea of what's going to happen, but that just changes when your daughter throws up 3 times in the middle of the night. So, what I think about when I think about things, they go into the pondering section about how life can just throw you these curveballs sometimes, and you just have to make do with what you get. But very simple. I just can come in here, I can create a topic, and I can write about it. Again, I'm just trying to capture the idea here. Then I have another table set up for all the newsletters where they're aggregated. So when I'm going to build my newsletter for the week, I can come into one from each of these sections, and I have a little linked section for the newsletter. So if this is the one that I want to put in my newsletter for the next one, I will just simply add it here. And then that way, when I look at my newsletter template, I will be able to see all the ones that I have selected that are related to that one. So if I just open up this as a full page, I can then come in here, open this, I will copy the text, and then I will move it down into my pondering section. And then I can do that for each of the different categories. I have a little checklist of things that I need to remember what to do when I send it out. And then I can share this with my wife so that she can give it a quick read through to make sure everything makes sense. So, and then the other thing that I have set up is this newsletter idea. Once it's assigned to a newsletter, then it will remove it from this list. Same thing with if the date that I wrote this is more than a week ago, it also falls off this list. So again, keeping it current for what I'm going to be writing for my newsletter for that week. And then this is just set up to filter so that anything that is in progress stays showing up here. So that's how I track for my newsletter. And then finally, I haven't been writing a whole lot of atomic essays recently, kind of been focusing on other things, but this is just a simple section where when I have an idea, I can come in here, again, having a template set up to, again, very simply write a draft. I was using TypeShare to create the little images, and then embed the tweet that I have set up to go out. So again, just very simple system to manage my content creation. And the other thing that I have set up to be able to do is sometimes, some weeks, depending on what's happening, there might be a lot of really good stuff here, more than what I'll put in the newsletter. So I have this section that is atomic essay ideas. So anything that didn't make it to the newsletter is what this filter is set up. So no newsletter, and it isn't resonating, so it isn't just a quote. If there's something here, then I could just take this out and perhaps move it down to the atomic essay section so that it'll be a draft for a potential atomic essay. So really cool thing that you can do with Notion, being able to drag these cards from different databases one to another to be able to move things around very easily. So really cool function there. So that's my dashboard. Now let's talk a little bit about why I switched from Roam to Notion. Now, one of the reasons why is just how powerful the dashboards are here with Notion, and being able to arrange things on the screen kind of as these kind of different boards, changing the margins, being able to add pictures easily dive in and delve into the different sections. You can do some of this stuff with Roam, but you have to kind of build more of the underlying architecture, whereas Notion just has it, I think, built right in, and it's very easy to be able to use. So being able to have everything on one page for me to be able to go in and use was just kind of essential to keeping it simple and keeping me in flow. It was a system that worked for me, that I didn't have to put a lot of effort into working for. And another reason really came down to the newsletter that I was creating. So before, when I was writing it in Roam, I would have to copy it out of there, put it in a Google Doc. I would then use Grammarly. Then I would have to send my wife the Google Doc link so that she can go in and edit it. And then if I wanted to keep the new edited version, I would have to copy it out of Google Docs, put it back into Roam, and then go ahead and put it on ConvertKit to release. And there was just a lot of moving things around to be able to use the different supports that I have. Number one being Grammarly, and number two, my wife giving it a review. But with the web app for Notion and having the Grammarly extension installed for Chrome, I can now edit the newsletter in Grammarly right from my browser, and I can share it with my wife to come in then and make edits without me having to transfer the document and the text around to kind of make it work with the app that I was using before, which was Roam. So finding the apps that are going to support you in being able to achieve what you want to achieve for the least amount of effort, I think is really what these tools are for. So rather than trying to make one tool do everything, find the right tool for the job. There might be a little bit more friction of having something in a different system than my regular note-taking one, but is that less friction and resistance than what I was trying to do to use just the one tool? So that, and the other thing that I really like about Notion too, and I mentioned before, is just being able to switch between these different views very easily. For my different databases, being able to set up different views, I really like that in Notion too. So that was another bonus for switching, and being able to add, like I said, the picture, having my content creation banner just as a nice reminder at the top of the page. I like being able to do that. So that is my content creation system that I have in Notion. Let me know down in the comments below if you found any of this useful, if it gave you any ideas for your own workflows. If you have any ideas for how I can improve my workflow, I would love to hear about it, and I will see you all next time.